Hello everyone, welcome to this video. This is gonna be the last section of our lab that we started 5 videos back, where we have really implemented the hub and spoke uh, architecture within Azure. And in this video, we're gonna do the last part of the video, which is implementing the Azure Application Gateway. So let's just go there, and in here again, we're gonna go back to the Azure portal. And in the Azure portal, we're going to go down to the virtual networks. Just search for it, virtual networks. And in the virtual networks, let's just work with the AZ10406, the virtual network 1. So this one we have peered to both virtual network 2 and virtual network 3, and we have also have a virtual machine 0, which we are using as a router, and we have route table assigned to the other two subnets. So any traffic that are generating from virtual network 2 and 3, they can come to the router, and the router's route table can direct the traffic properly. Okay, so we are here now. In this one, what we need to do to deploy application gateway, we need to create another subnet. So let's see, are we in, yeah, we're in the right place. Let's go to the subnet. We have subnet 0 and subnet 1 at the moment. What we need to create another subnet. Let's call the subnet as subnet application gateway. So, and 1063.20.224.27. So I don't need a whole lot of IPs, right? So you just need a few IPs. So this subnet, you can host like 27 IPs. That should be more than enough. So let's just get that one. And so here is, you have some notes as well. This subnet will be used with Azure Application Gateway instance, which you will need to deploy later in this task. The Application Gateway requires a dedicated subnet of 27 or larger size. So that is, looks like that is the smallest one you can use for the Application Gateway. So just put it there. And here, let's see, I don't think you need to configure anything else. Okay, subnet IP is what we have done, and then just hit save, and that should give us a new subnet in here. Okay, so that is my application gateway subnet. So once we have that one, let's just go on and search for the application gateway. Okay, in that application gateway, let's just create one since I do not have one. Oh, hold on. Application gateway, let's just go there one more time and make sure that you're in the application gateway blade. Now you uh, hit the create. Now we have a specific window that's for the application gateway. Now let's call it, let's create a new resource group. Okay, put it in a new resource group, and region, I'm still going to use the East US. The name of the application gateway, we're going to use the same name as the lab. Tier standard v2 is fine. Enable auto scaling. Right now I'm going to say no, do not do anything. Let's say HTTP2 disable. HTTP/2 protocol supports available to client that connect to application gateway listeners only. The communication is backend server protocol over HTTP 1.1. By default, HTTP2 support is disabled. So let's just keep it disabled. Now, where do we want to put it? We're going to put it in the virtual network 1. Okay, that's where we're going to deploy. And which subnet do you want to choose is the app GW, and that is automatically selected, so we are good. So let's go to the front end. In the front end, what we need an address type which is going to be public, and let's see if we have a public IP address. So I do not have a public IP, so let's just create a new public IP and just say PIP5 and hit OK. So I should have that one now. Let's go to the backend. The backend, similar to the naming convention that we have, add a backend. It's BE1 for the backend, and for the backend we have a IP address, and we're gonna target 1062.04. Okay, and the target type, I'm also gonna use 1063.04. So again, these are the uh, two different virtual machines. Okay, let's see, and these are for the VM2 and VM3. Okay, so the application gateway, we're gonna putting both VM2 and VM3 behind our application gateway. All right, hit add and then hit configuration. So we're getting close. So in here we got we need some stuff in here. Let's see, create an application gateway. Do you see create an application gateway in here? Okay, so I don't so this looks like this one has changed just a little. So over here what we need to do, mm, let's let's add a routing rule. Okay, so over here let's just add the right routing rule, and let's just go here and let's get the routing rule name. Okay, and on the listener tab, so this is really the listener one, they have changed the UI just a little. Listener name is going to be this. Okay, and front end IP type is going to be public. Let's do 80 is fine. Listener type basic, and error page URL right now we're not configuring, so hit add. Oh, as we have something that we need to configure that we didn't. So the backend targets we need to configure. So let's just come back over here. Target is the backend pool, and we have already configured one backend pool. Let's just get that one. And backend target we already had a couple, I thought. Let's see, backend target, uh, an HTTP setting. Let's do this, add an HTTP setting. So here let's just do this, add an HTTP setting and just create one. Create this HTTP AD and have the cookie based affinity and connection draining, both of them disabled. And let's just come back, and both of them looks good, so hit add and add. So let's see if that helps. Okay, so we are down to somewhere in there. So now we still, do we have a routing rule? Add a routing rule, add. I think I'm good right now. I already have a routing rule. Do I? Yes, we do. We added the routing rule. We created the front end. We created the back end. So everything looks good. So let's add and then review and create. And let's see if our deployment is successful. So validation is at least successful. Let's just try to create this one. So deployment started. It says it might take about 8 minutes. So I'm just going to pause the video, and once this deployment is done, I'll come back. Okay, everyone, our deployment is now complete. So let's just go to the resource, and here is our resource group, and here we have the application gateway and the public IP. So let's select our application gateway. Okay, and this one, if we select that one, on the application gateway plate, click on the AZ06 app gateway 5. Okay, so that is what we have selected right now. Now in this one, note the value of the front end IP. So this is the front end IP again. Let me just put it in my notepad. right there on the application gateway blade. So we have done that, step 17. Then start another browser window and navigate to the IP. So let's just start another browser window, navigate to that IP. Now 31, hit enter, and look at that. So now you are getting a response. How about from AZ10406 VM2? Okay, verify the browser window display the message VM2, or so it could have gone to the other VM as well. So if I refresh this one, now you see it went to the VM3. So now it's again VM2. So now application layer is now controlling the application gateway, now controlling the traffic, and is working on layer 7. So over here, as per the note, you might need to refresh the browser or open it again by using the in private mode. Targeting virtual machines on multiple virtual network is not a common configuration, but it is meant to illustrate the point that application gateway is capable of targeting virtual machines or multiple virtual networks. Okay, unlike Azure Load Balancer, which load balances across virtual machines in the same virtual network. So that's the critical difference between the Azure Load Balancer versus the application gateway. Azure Load balances across virtual machine in the same virtual network. Okay, but if you use the application gateway, it will be uh, able to do the load balancing across different region, different virtual network. All right, that's the end of this lab, and I would highly recommend that you clean up all the resources that you have and run this through commands to end the lab and save some cost. But I'm going to use those virtual machines for a little bit for most testing, so I'm not going to do that in this lab, but I'll let you do it and have fun. Thank you.